Oh, welcome back to underKG Show. This is Phil, and today we got Nokia X. So this is their latest approach to the lower end market, equipping Android into their smartphones, which there's been a lot of people claiming that they should have done that earlier. So finally, there's it. Let's take a look at it. It's got a receiver on the top followed by the Nokia logo, 4-inch of a WVGA resolution IPS display. Yes, that's a WVGA. Considering the price, I don't think that's exactly a bad choice. There's a back key. Usually the Android devices have at least 2 or 3 soft keys, but this guy only has back key. You can tap and hold on it to get back to the main launcher. So we'll deal with that later. On the right is a volume rocker with the power key. On the top is a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the left, there's nothing. On the bottom is a micro USB port. On the back is a 3.15 megapixels of camera, Nokia logo, speaker grill. That's pretty much it. And the overall build quality of the device is actually quite amazing for its price. It feels really sturdy in the hand, and the color is amazing. It also comes in different colors if you want to check that out. And the battery cover is replaceable and detachable, and it even allows you to swap your battery of a 1500 milliamps. It's dual SIM model, so you can install 2 micro SIM cards in there, and one is on 3G, one is on GSM, so you can talk and have your data connection simultaneously. There's a micro SD card slot in between of the SIM card slots, so you can expand your memory. They are claiming up to 32 gigabytes. We'll have to check that out if we are successful to install any bigger than the 32 gigabytes. And Nokia has also included that tap to wake function for a long time, and it still is here, but tapping twice on the screen gently doesn't seem to work really well. You actually have to tap on the screen to wake the phone. So that's a little surprise, but you can do that. And this is the launcher. It looks a bit more of a Windows phone than it does to the Android. They modded a lot of the Android features. They're actually calling it the Nokia X system. And you can pull down on the notification bar to see the toggles, but what we're missing here is the notifications, the actual notifications, which are implemented into the left side of a fast lane. That's what they're calling it. So basically, fast lane combines the widgets and the notifications and the multitasking and the notification of the phone itself into one single screen. You might be also familiar with this 2 split screen concept from the Windows Phone. So that's how they did it. So these lines which used to show up on the notification bar on the stock Androids are now on the left side, meaning that you can install other launchers, but you won't be seeing your notifications on the other launchers because you don't have the fast lane built into the other one. So this approach seems like an idea. So you get yourself into an app, and you get back to the main screen by swiping or tapping and holding on the back key, and then you can move left to switch between the apps that you had and check out the notifications or the recent activities that you have done. That sounds like an idea. But that's pretty much the only part that I like about the Nokia X. Although it is based on the Nokia Android platform, they're calling it, as I said, the Nokia X software platform 1.1. They threw in an update, and it's supposed to make the stability and the performance better, but it doesn't really have to seem like it's done a lot of job. Launching apps are still quite laggy, and there are some of the apps that don't exactly get into the app themselves. They crash before they do, and they don't have many apps currently uploaded on the Nokia store. They even have the sideload market because they don't have much of the apps on their market themselves. So I did try installing some Android apps by the ADB plugs into the APK files, and most of them seem to work fine, even including the Nova launcher to make it even look like an usual Android device. But performances are very laggy, considering that the CPU is Snapdragon S4 Play. That's A5, Cortex A5 running at 1.01 gigahertz on dual core. And that's pretty low spec. And for its resolution, it shouldn't be too bad if it were not for the RAM, which is a half a gigabyte of RAM, and the system-wise available RAM is a 381 megabytes, which is definitely not a lot. And there's been a rumor of the Android system is running on based on KitKat, but that was only a rumor so far. It runs on Android 4.1.2 Jelly Bean, and it's not exactly the latest. And unlike KitKat, they didn't exactly intend it to be running on the lower spec devices, so it does lag a lot. Surfing with the websites is pretty laggy, even using their the Opera web browser that it came with. And let's give it some time to wait for it to load up. Loading it up is pretty slow. And most of the Android experiences on the Nokia X is not exactly the best one that we've seen. And not only to mention that the battery life on this 1500 milliamps of battery is not exactly so great. It's replaceable, so it shouldn't be that much of a terrible decision to have. Talking about the specs, it's got a, it ranks about, hold on, let's take a look at the Antutu scores. It ranks about 7,600. That's, I'm not expecting like a 30,000 on a 109 euro smartphone, but that's pretty low. So here's the thing. As I said on the started introduction, many people have been claiming that Nokia should just switch to Android before the Windows Phone actually do make progress on the market. And I was actually one of the people who said that. And they finally made their approach to the Android market, although it's not exactly a stock vanilla Android. And it doesn't seem like the best idea. First of all, this phone is priced, the official price is 109 euros. That converts about 150 bucks into US dollars. And for that price, it would have been amazing to own an Android phone of this gorgeous design and the build quality 3 years ago. It would have been awesome. But it's 2014, and there are many Chinese manufacturers who produce better specs and flawlessly running Android, running on their smartphones with the even better battery life. And if not for the design and the build quality, I don't think this guy could actually beat any of the Chinese Android phones or any of the Samsung or LG of a cheaper market Android phones. So here's the deal. First thing is, if Nokia totally builds it up into the stock vanilla Android and it runs Android apps flawlessly, even with the KitKat and the lighter version of the Android, it would be awesome. Or if they cut the price down to half the price, about 70 bucks. That would be totally acceptable. But for this price, I totally don't see why you would choose Nokia X over any other Android cheaper, lower class Android smartphones if you're not really digging for this gorgeous red design. It also comes in other colors, as I said. So that's pretty much the Nokia X. It's not attractive in pretty much anything. I'm really sorry to say this, but that's what Nokia has poorly done with their first approach to the Android, and I'm not sure if that's gonna if that's not gonna be the last. I think it's gonna be the last approach. So that was Nokia X. Please hop on here to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys later in the other more of an interesting reviews. Thank you always for watching.